Hey friends, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about something that is not particularly sexy or exciting, your music stand. We've talked about it before in the past, but now we get to take a look at something a little bit nicer, a little bit more premium from my pals at the Noisy Clan. Meet the Grandstand. And the Grandstand desktop stand. Some of you may remember a couple years ago when we took a look at the Weestand from Noisy Clan, a travel music stand that you could very easily fit into your gig bag and use wherever you need to use it. Now that was Noisy Clan's first go at this music stand game, and now with the Grandstand, they've created a more premium, more top-of-the-line product for musicians everywhere. What you see next to me right here is the sort of flagship model, the actual standing music stand with the 24-inch wood base plate. In addition to the standing music stand, they also have the desktop stand, this one with the 14-inch wood platform. Both the big stand and the desktop stand are made from a combination of solid wood and steel. The solid wood plates, I believe, are made from birch, but I can neither confirm nor deny that. And what's cool is that each of these base plates are hot swappable. You may have noticed the little circle in the center of the platform. Well, if you take it like this, push your thumbs down into that hole and push down, you can actually detach each base plate from its corresponding stand. So if you so choose, you could have the 14-inch stand on the larger size stand as opposed to the 24. And yes, it works in exactly the same fashion on the larger platform. You have the hole in the center. Thankfully, there's some nice little cutouts for your hand to go down into. Press down in the middle and you're able to remove that 24-inch plate, no problem. So if you're really crazy, you could go ahead and have yourself a big old 24-inch desktop stand. All you need to do is line it up correctly and press down. There you go. And there, you have a 24-inch desktop music stand. There's something about this that just feels so excessive. Now you're probably wondering how high this big stand can go. Well, the height that you see right now is actually just the central black steel portion loosened and raised up. There's a simple turn wheel right here that you use to tighten and loosen. So loosen it up. You can raise it a little higher. You can have it go a little lower if you so choose. However, there is an insert inside of that. So if you have it at, say, a certain point where you're like, okay, that's kind of good, but I also need to raise it up just a little bit more, that central portion telescopes out, no problem. Now, what is nice is that every package comes with a hex key, an Allen wrench, in order to tighten up any of the hex screws that are on this. So you can tighten or loosen your Grandstand however you see fit. And if you'd like to angle it or maybe make it a tabletop stand, there's a small little gray lever right here. There it is, there. And all you need to do is pull that out just a little bit and you have a freedom of movement to angle it however you want. If you want it in the tabletop position, all you have to do is push that in and that locks that tabletop position in place. Now, some of you may have noticed these very strange black bars that are on the platforms. Well, these can actually be used for a variety of different things because they're clamps. You can take a piece of sheet music and you can clamp it to the music stand and keep it open. Or if you have a device, you can use this one right here and clamp down on it like an iPad or a laptop, and you can clamp it down and it won't move even on this wood platform. So how would I rate the build quality of each of these? Well, I think it's a huge leap forward from the Weestand that we looked at a couple of years back. The wood is nice and solid, it's not bowing, and I've had these for a very long time and used these in a few different situations. I'm not noticing any sort of warping in the wood, and the clamps on both of these do come in handy for keeping things in place. So how have I used these in the real world? Well, I've not used them necessarily as music stands per se. If anything, they've become more media stands than anything. For example, with the larger 24-inch and the big stand, I tend to, what I'm not doing right now, is I have an iPad that I'll use to monitor the camera that I'm recording my videos with, because oftentimes I'm the only one in this room. So I want to make sure that everything looks good and that I'm actually looking at the camera, addressing you all. So what I'll go ahead and do is open a remote browser app for my camera and put it on the stand right here. And I tend to raise it up to about here so that it's within eye line of myself sitting right next to it and sitting in front of it and in line with the camera. So if I have any notes that I need to keep on here as well, say I'm demoing something complicated and I need to make sure that I reference the user manual to give you guys correct information, I'll go ahead and slide that next to the iPad. And not only will I be able to look at what the camera is seeing in front of me, but I'll also be able to reference any information that I need or any video outlines, so that if I can just glance away real quick, blink and you didn't notice, I can take care of all my production needs that way. That's 9 times out of 10 how I'm using this big guy here. But what about the desktop stand? Well, this has actually become my favorite of the two because it can kind of go anywhere. The biggest help for me has been taking this to my church gigs. Now, sometimes I'll play Tuesday, Thursday mornings for our prayer room hour, and sometimes song choices come a little bit later than I would like them to. So often what I'll do is I'll make myself a quick and dirty Nashville numbers chart, and I'll bring it with me. But instead of having it at eye height, because I just feel like a tall music stand on stage, if you're not playing a cover gig, it looks kind of odd. So I'll go ahead and bring the desktop stand and put it right in front of my pedal board. It clears enough so that if I can angle it up about that much, I can look straight down, which you'd think I'm shoegazing and looking at my pedal board. I'm probably actually looking at the chart. Not only that, this also comes in handy for testing out pedals if I'm sitting at the desk. For example, if I get something that is more of a DI kind of thing, something I want to record direct, I'll go ahead and put that on my studio desk in the back with the pedal just right there, right in front of me. And I can just look at it straight on and make adjustments to the knobs however I see fit. So there have definitely been a lot of great ways for the Grandstand to come into play in my musical life. But there's a really big concern that I have, and that is the price tag. Just so you know, I'm giving you as up-to-date of information as possible. Right now, it's the 25th of October that I'm shooting this video. And on Noisy Clan's website, the Tripod 24 with the tall stand is $315. The Tabletop 14 stand, this package right here, is $119. And if you would prefer to get the 14-inch plate with the tripod stand, the larger of the two stands, that's going to come out to $259. And then you can get both of these stands in addition to the tabletop tablet plate, which is about the size of this, but with that rubberized top and the cut in the bottom for your charger cable. That is going to run you $450. Now the materials are quality and they have come into a great amount of uses here in my studio and in my musical world. But that price tag is a high ask if you're buying one of these or you're buying all of it. At the end of the day, it's your money, and you're going to make the decision as to whether or not you want to part with it. All I can do is say that I have found more uses for this than I expected initially. I'm very happy that Noisy Clan reached out and asked if I wanted to check these out and review for you all. I'm not getting paid to do this video other than, receiving these stands, and that's my compensation. So I like them. I use them all over the place. Every time I shoot a video, this big one is standing right next to the camera every time. So I have definitely gotten use out of it, and this little guy as well. So with all that said, the Grandstand is a really great leap forward in product for the Noisy Clan at a bit of a high price tag though. So I'm gonna leave that up to you as to whether or not you want to part with your hard-earned dollars. Thank you all so much for spending part of your day with me and watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It's a small thing, but it really does help out a lot. And if you'd like to stay more up to date with my musical world and see what's going on here, as well as get the chance to win some free gear, join my email list at seanpiercejohnson.com/email. And if you loved this video enough and want to support my channel with your hard-earned dollars in other ways, go ahead and use the affiliate links I have in the description box down below. You can use them for every small gear purchase you make, like strings, picks, slides, or straps, or even some higher ticket stuff, should you so choose. Until we see each other again, my friends, I'm Sean Pierce Johnson, wishing you all watching great tone, great health, and happy stomping. Cheers, friends. God bless.